Welcome everyone to NAPW's e-coaching networking event. E-coaching has taken the stage, not only fostering real-time networking, but also assisting our members through focused topics to move the needle professionally through live events hosted by our VIP NAPW members who are professional coaches. We encourage you to carve out the time and keep coming back to our online events because of its ease and ability to network from your office, while on the road, and even from the comfort of your own home. You will see at the bottom left of your screen a box that explains how to create a private chat room with any attendee you wish to speak with off the group chat during the event, as it can be difficult to keep up with one or several people you've connected with due to the chat room moving so quickly. Also, you'll see poll questions pop up during the e-coaching segment. Please take a minute to answer the questions, as our host today will share the results. So since we only have 30 minutes together, I want to get our session started by introducing you to our NAPW e-coach for today. Silvika Roska, who is a leadership and mental performance coach at Business Brains Incorporated. Her passion is to empower women with the self-confidence to step up as powerful leaders. Her journey started as a leader in religious and non-profit organizations and continued in her 10 years within the defense industry. Being exposed to leadership early in life, she was well prepared to be confident even as a 20-year-old intern in the presence of countless C-suite executives. Her colleagues noticed, and it wasn't too long before they were asking for her advice. After much soul-searching, live stream broadcasting, and education, she chose to pursue her passion full-time, opening up Business Brains Incorporated in 2016, where she facilitates online group coaching programs, rich in content, and mentors individuals to a higher level of commitment to their leadership journey. Good afternoon, Silvika, and welcome.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
Wonderful. I'm going to go off camera, and you go right ahead.
All right. I'll go ahead and dive on in. Hey, everyone. It is so great to be here. And you know what, you guys, I think we really need to give the entire NAPW e-chapter major props for all the attendees. There's so much work that gets put into putting on events like this and webinars like this and amazing content and peer-to-peer sharing the way we're doing now. So you guys are doing an amazing job. Thank you so much for that. All right, I'll go ahead and dive right in. Just a little bit about me. Lois did a great job introducing me. Thank you so much. And that, you guys can read the slides later on. That's just a little bit about me. I do want to, though, share on the next slide. Whenever we talk about, a journey or a process where you want to get an end result, there's a reason why in marketing people always focus on the end result, because the journey and the process requires work. And if we sometimes focus just on the work that is required, then we tend to get discouraged from the results. So I want to show you guys what opportunities networking has created in my life. And just real quick with these few pictures. In the top left, you guys can see me with the lady in blue. That's Michelle Taylor-Tucker. She brokers the purchase and sale of multi-million-dollar businesses. And through my networking, I've had the opportunity to be able to sit down with her, get advice from her, and especially on how do you build up your business so that you can sell it, right? Then in the middle is Greg Reed. He's our top middle. He is a modern-day Napoleon Hill, has interviewed all of the wealthiest people in the world through the Napoleon Hill Foundation, authored over 50 books, and an amazing wealth of knowledge, especially when it comes to encouragement and success principles. Then in the top right, you can see me, that's me with Brian Smith, the founder of UGG Boots. Got a chance to sit down with him, talk about his book, and the tremendous struggles that he had and obstacles he overcame to make UGG Boots the company it is now. And then in the bottom left is Jeff Hoffman, co-founder of Priceline.com. Amazing guy to talk about how he built up not only Priceline.com, but when we go into the airport and the kiosks that we print out our boarding passes, he's responsible for that as well. That was before Priceline.com. And in the bottom right, I'm not in the picture, but that's my coach. And through the networking opportunities I've had with my coach, I've had the opportunity to coach pro athletes, former pro athletes, and just amazing opportunities that have popped up because of networking. So I wanted to show you guys that picture of, and all these opportunities have been things that have come up within the past year. That's it, within the past year. Networking is powerful, and I want you guys to have that The name in the blue is Michelle Sealer Tucker, Jennifer. So I'm going to go ahead then, given what I just said, go ahead and put in the first poll. Is networking important to you? I mean, so answer one is yes, totally. You believe it. It's personally important to you. Number two, it's because, people say so, so because it's important, that you need to go do it. All right, I'm loving this. The results are like, it looks like, ooh, perfect. Oh, it is getting a bit dicey there. So two is it's important for me just because I know it's a tool and other people think it's important. And three, it's like, it's not a big priority for me right now. It looks like about 80% of the people are saying, yes, it's totally important to me. About 17 are saying, yeah, but only because other people say so. And very small, and a very small percentage are saying that it's not that much of a priority. All right. Well, I'm speaking to the choir here. I'm really excited for that. Yay, so excited. Thank you guys so much. And I'm seeing you guys typing it into the comments as well. Networking helped you start your company, Karen. Yes, for me as well. I worked for 10 years in the defense industry. I thought I'd be becoming CFO, then CEO, and through networking, was able to launch my own coaching company. So all right, we're going to go ahead and dive right on in then. Why networking? Real quick, what I'm going to do is talk about the concept of networking, why networking, and then we'll spend the most of the time talking about what you can do when you're networking, not only physiologically, psychologically, and then socially, the actual interaction with people. There's a lot of prep work that needs to be done before networking. Just the same way you prepare before you go to a customer meeting or a client meeting or just any meeting, you prepare before you go networking as well. Oh, how to discern the good from the waste of time. Oh, yes, definitely. So first, networking builds relationships. Keep that in mind. That is what networking is. It's relationship building. So you get free advice. For example, for a period of 2 years, I was involved in real estate as well while working my full-time job. And, how to do it? Oh, confidence. You guys, totally we're going to cover that. So I was doing real estate investment while doing my full-time job. Advice, crazy way, just the amount of advice I got because of networking. And so I made sure I would go to almost every single investor association meeting that there was. And each time my goal was, I am going to connect with one person and then go on a coffee date with them afterwards, or coffee meeting, not a date, after them, and just ask them what is their real estate investor association like. Oh, networking with access to capital is amazing. So one of the times I went to a networking meeting and happened to sit down to someone who is considered an expert, an absolute expert when it comes to real estate in Southern California. And he spent the entire meeting giving me free advice. People paid thousands of dollars to be mentored and coached by him, and I got his free advice. So relationships, networking builds relationships. You get your free advice. You have someone who has your back. And also, take advantage of online and offline networking. And as much as possible, seek to create that online networking to bring it offline. I got my business started because I started broadcasting on social media. Met so many people all over the world. And with as many of them as possible, I sought to create offline connections. We'd go to conferences where we knew we'd be able to meet up because it created such a big difference when you see them face to face. Then it builds opportunities. It creates opportunities. Now, what kind of opportunities does it create? Networking is promotion. You are your best marketer. You are your best salesperson. You are your best PR person. When you go to networking events, you're basically opening up, you have an open for business sign. If you run your own business, it's an open for business sign. If you're looking to advance within a company, you are showing yourself as, I'm advanceable, I'm a promotable. And then also, if you're looking to raise capital, you will be meeting people who have money to invest. A lot of times, especially at Real Estate Investor Association meetings, there'd be people there who were looking to invest. At one of the networking events that I went, I got to meet the rich dad from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You never know who you're going to meet if you're very intentional about it when you go to networking. And one opportunity, so it opens promotions, you find job openings, you get introductions, and you get to land contracts and deals. One very fresh example for me is just yesterday, I signed my first contract with an actual business. Up until now, I've been working with individuals. And yesterday, last week I met up with a contact from a networking relationship that I had built over the past few years. They connected me. And because of that, yesterday I just signed my very first contract with a business to go do workshops and trainings. Amazing. It's an amazing step in the new direction I want to take my company because of networking. And then also, networking creates our inner circle. Every business has a board of directors. We'll view as networking as I'm going to find a pool of candidates to put onto the board of directors for my life. That is, I will be giving advice to introverts as well, definitely. This is your board of directors of your life. You get to find mentors. You get to find people who you can model your success after, and you can get to find people whom you mastermind with. So that leads me, oh, I totally forgot to click slides on quotes. My goodness. So quotes for relationships, have this mentality when you go to networking. There are no strangers here. There's only friends you haven't met yet. That's a great, great way to approach networking. And then when it comes to opportunity, Seneca, that luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Prepare, prepare, go network. That's preparation and opportunity meeting, and you get that luck. And then your inner circle. You get to choose the board of directors of your life. There you go. Which leads us to the next question. I want to know, what has your networking experience been like? You know, is your experience been more people trying to sell me things? That's number one. Number two is people looking out for themselves. Number three is uncomfortable, awkward social requirements. Or four, is it something fun and enjoyable? So let me go ahead and let me know. Ooh, I'm liking this. It looks, ooh, yes, yes. This is really confirming what I had thought most people would have. There you go. So it looks like so far the overall winner is that people trying to sell me things is the biggest networking thing, followed by uncomfortable, awkward social requirements. And then afterwards, we have a great big group of people saying that it's fun, enjoyable connection building, and a little bit of people looking out for themselves. And you know what? That is the truth. That is the case. Most people, when they think networking, they think superficial smiles, exchanging business cards, asking for favors. They expect give, I want, give to me, I want to receive. They don't think giving. That is completely not what networking is. That's what people think networking is, and that's what we're trained to do with networking. But that really isn't what networking really should be like. Instead, what networking really is, this is the networking. This is the definition of networking. It's creating a group of acquaintances and contacts. So first you create them, then you remain actively connected with them, and the purpose is mutual benefit. 3 parts. You have to first go and create those contacts. You have to remain connected with them. It's not as simple as, oh, we're connected on LinkedIn and that's it, or we're friends on NAPW and that's it. You have to remain in active contact with them. I'm not saying every week. Sometimes it might not even be every month. It could be every 3 months, whatever it might be, but actively remain connected with them. And the purpose is mutual benefit. That's what it is. You're here to help each other out, right? You create friendships, and then you give value first. So for example, the opportunity that I received, it's a 5-figure deal I signed with a company just yesterday, and it came through a network, a relationship that I'd had. So this relationship, we met 10 years ago. We kept in touch every now and then, like once a year, and then as it progressed, and it was mostly emails, and then in person because we served on the same committee together. And then more so in the past 2-3 years, we would meet up for coffee or for lunch every 4 or 5 months maybe. And so it was a bit more intentional. And then she asked she was the director of a career center at a university here, and she asked if I could come and do a complimentary talk to their students. What did I do? I went and I gave the talk. I gave of myself. I gave value first without expecting anything in return. And then what happened? Because she received value and I didn't demand anything of her, she then in turn started connecting me with people that she knew out of gratitude. That's what networking is win-win, mutual benefit. Exactly. The more people that would embrace that mutual benefit, that collaborative spirit, the better. So that is networking. However, even given with all that, people get really scared, right? People are like, they come up, I'm an extrovert. I'm a total extrovert. And even I, before going to a networking event, prepare myself. So now we're going to dive into the meat of how can you prepare for networking? What can you actually do to be prepared so that way when you go network, you are at your best. All right. So here you go. We're going to dive right on. Before that, I want to ask a question. What is your biggest fear when networking? Is your biggest fear that you don't know anyone? Or is it saying the wrong thing, looking stupid? Is it that awkward silence, the having nothing to say? So like number 2 is you're saying too much. Number 3 is you're not saying anything. And number 4 is maybe, is there pressure? Do you feel pressure to make a sale or get a job while you are networking? Go ahead and let us know. Perfect. Ooh, nice. Well, it looks like awkward silence is winning by a landslide. And then we have don't know anyone or saying the wrong thing are neck to neck. They're very close with each other. Pressure of making a sale or getting a job is at the very, very lowest. All right. That's really, there you go. None of those? Oh, none of those. Shauna, okay. Well, wasting time. Yes. Time wasters, a very, very big thing. All right. So we're going to go ahead, and that's awkward silence is the biggest thing. Yeah, Shauna, go ahead and share. What is that something else that your biggest fear when networking? So how do we overcome common fears? This is a slide we're going to spend most of our time on. There are 3 ways. I grouped 3 categories of ways that you can prepare yourself to overcome common fears. There's physiologically, psychologically, and then there's the social cues. So I'm going to start off with physiologically first, because one big thing, one very important thing in life is you take ownership of your life. So you take ownership of your networking as well. So starting with that, you start with physiologically. First is posture. How many of you are very aware of what kind of posture you hold right before you enter your networking event and what kind of posture you're carrying yourself with while at the networking event? I am very conscientious about that. I'm very aware of what posture I have, because your posture sends out signals to people. It sends out I'm confident or I'm not confident. It sends out I'm approachable or I'm not approachable. So Amy Cuddy at Harvard did amazing research with body posture and how body posture affects our body. So she did it in the context of interviews. So they've identified different poses, nonverbal communication. Yes, you guys, thank you so much for bringing that up. Of our communication, 7% is the words that we speak. 7% of our communication are the words that we speak. Then 38%, yes, 38% is our tone, the inflection of your voice. 55% is body posture. So your body posture, your body movement, all of those, 93% of our communication, you guys, are nonverbal cues, nonverbal. So we're going to go ahead and, the 80-20 principle, we're going to first impact the biggest portion of your communication, and that is your body language, and your body posture. So Amy Cuddy has identified different poses that she called power poses. Some are high power poses, others were low power poses. And what they would do is they did it on a test of people who are going to go to interviews. They had similar resumes, and so what they did is part of the group members, they took them to the bathroom or something, and made them take on a high power pose and then go into the interview. The other group members, they had them do a low power pose for a few minutes before the interview, and then they went into the interview. And guess what happened? The people who were in a high power pose, they got the job. The people who were in the lower power pose did not. The interviewers did not know about this either. And they just said there was something about these candidates that was different. And what is it? Certain power poses. By the way, at the very end, I'll let you guys know where you can go to a link and download all these slides and all the details. But it's basically shoulders back. There's the Wonder Woman pose, right? The Wonder Woman legs, shoulder or hip width apart, hands on your hips, shoulders back, poses like that. Or if you're sitting down, making sure you take up your entire space, head up, chin up. Or, if you're on the phone talking with someone, put your feet up on the desk, things like that. These power poses, once you hold them for a certain time, they actually trigger your brain to start producing testosterone. It actually changes the hormone production in your body, and testosterone is linked with confidence. Then also, we humans, when we visually see someone staying with their shoulders back, we deem them more confident. We deem them as competent. Whereas the low power poses, the shrunken shoulders, hands like this, hands on your neck, things like that. Oh, and I just realized I want to make sure I'm not touching the mic. Hands on your neck, arms crossed. Those are low power poses. They have a very standoffish vibe, and they also produce cortisol. So they start making you feeling stressed. They start producing stress in your body. And yes, extrovert or introvert, that is flexible. I think you can be an introvert and a successful networker, because an introvert is someone who gathers, you get your power from inside. You need to get refreshed. So you invest in yourself, you get your energy, you refresh yourself, and then when you go to these meetings, to networking, you get yourself in the mindset of, I am going to network, I'm going to have fun. We're going to talk about psychological, the mental talk later. But you can, whether you're an extrovert or an introvert. So your posture, your pose affects it. And smile. If you smile, what you're actually doing, if you hold a smile for a long period of time, studies have shown it actually creates your body. It actually causes your brain to start releasing dopamine, endorphins, and serotonin. The actual act of smiling makes you feel better. So if you are nervous before you go to an event, guess what? Smiling and holding that smile before you go to an event. You guys, I do this for real. While I'm driving to a networking event, I'm smiling in the car because I want to get my brain to start producing those endorphins. Then also, people who smile are viewed as more attractive, more reliable, more approachable. When you are networking, one of the things people had mentioned is that you have nothing to say. You're afraid to approach people. If you smile, you make yourself more approachable. And smiling is contagious as well. So you're going to pass on those benefits to other people as well. And if you're working with people online, if you are face-to-face, if you have a video camera, they can see that. And even if not, these actions that I'm talking about, your posture and your smiling, that translates into the tone of your voice as well. So people can hear it in the phone. How many times have you guys been talking with a friend on the phone and you couldn't see her, but you knew if she was smiling or not? Your tone of voice carries that. It carries everything that your body has been doing. Exactly. When you smile, people smile back. It makes connecting easier. And now this one is not talked about often, but anyone who's in the acting world or a musician would know this. Your breathing is important. When networking, your breathing is very important. Take a deep breath before you go into a networking event. Before responding to a question, take a deep breath. Networking can be sometimes stressful, and so what happens is, maybe not necessarily the act of networking, the act of what am I going to say, am I saying the right thing, that causes stress. And the act of breathing, especially taking deep breaths, resets that. It resets your brain. And then also one of the things that happens for you guys who have people who have taken coaching courses, etc. Thank you, Lori. Yes.
I'd like to know.
Your breathing is so important. So what happens is when you look at a movie scene or if you're on an acting scene, the person with the most power in the room, so like let's say they're filming a scene and it's a royal court, the king has the most power, right? So how do they portray that power? By breathing deeply and calmly. The person with the most relaxed breathing is perceived as the person with the most power in the room. It's something subconscious about our brain. When we see someone who's breathing calmly, controlled, and relaxed, we deem them to have more power. So when you go into a networking event, breathe steadily, breathe deeply, breathe calmly. And that will not only calm yourself, but you'll also be sending out, I have power, I am in control. And that is one of the big things. If you walk in and you're breathing fast and you're talking fast, what it is, that shallow breathing, you're producing stress, you're producing cortisol in your body, and you're sending that emotion and that signal out to the people around you. So I spent the biggest portion of time on this, you guys, because you are the biggest factor in your networking. You are the biggest influencer in your networking. I had an event where I gave these very same talk, and one of the attendees approached put just one of these tips to use, and they came back with me and said, I went to an event and I landed a job because you put one of these tips to use. So Then socially, the small part, the how do I know what to say, how am I prepared? That, research the organizer, research the event, research the attendees. We have Facebook, we have LinkedIn, we have social media, it's all over the place. And then prepare some open-ended questions, right? Whenever you ask questions, always ask open-ended questions. And don't be like, oh, what are you doing today? You know, things like that. Ask open-ended questions. You know, perhaps, how did you get involved with this company? What do you love about this industry? What project are you currently working on? Ask open-ended questions. Dale Carnegie tremendously wrote in his book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, people love to talk about themselves. So if you ask them questions about them, they start talking, they love talking about themselves, they get engaged with you, they think you're the best conversationalist because you are, and then the bonus point is if you're truly listening to them, you're creating connections with them, you can figure out what your common base is, and voila. One of my friends got to meet Warren Buffett. And so what he did is he knew he wanted to have a chance to talk with Warren Buffett and be remembered. So what did he do? He went in and he asked Warren Buffett, what is your favorite ice cream flavor? And then they started talking about ice cream. And they started talking about childhood memories. He created a connection with Warren Buffett because he started asking questions about him, not necessarily about the event. You know, so there are so many different, called deflection. There you go. Give yourself time to relax. So ask open-ended questions and be that good listener. I have a download that you can have once again at the very end. There'll be a link to a slide where you can get the downloads. I have a whole bunch of lists of questions that you can ask, not only questions for the attendees, questions for the host, for the organizer, all those different things to prepare you for while you're at the event. And then the very, very last part is mental talk. Absolutely important. This applies whether you're an extrovert or an introvert, and is a big confidence booster as well. Pay attention. What are you speaking to yourself? What are your common fears? Are you psyching yourself out even before you go to the event? So many times we go to an event and we're like, oh, I hope it won't be boring, or I hope it won't this, I hope it won't that. And we focus on the negative, what we hope it will not be or it will not do. And then what happens is we create that reality because we're focusing on the not, on the not, on the not. Instead, focus on, this is what I want it to be. I want it to be fun. I want to meet, I want to make this connection. Set intentions for the event and psych yourself up. There's a big reason, I work with a lot of athletes, and there's a big reason that in sports, they psych themselves up. They speak positive because what happens is when you're speaking positive, and especially when you're speaking in the affirmative, your body physiologically gets stronger. We've done tests where we've had, you know, an entire room of athletes and a very, very big, you know, like a wrestler. And so everyone would be yelling yes. And you try to pull, the wrestler would have his hand out, and you try to pull the hand down, and you can't. Now everyone yells no, and with a finger, you can start budging his hand because of the power of words. People in athletic fields, Army Rangers, Navy SEALs, they know the power of words. So mental talk. Talk yourself into power. Psych yourself in. Don't psych yourself out. Now, these are very, very top-level type stuff. Once again, oh my goodness, in the last slide, how can you create your next opportunity? Find local networking groups. We have our NAPW chapter. There's meetup.com. And commit yourself to go to 2 to 4 events a month. 2 to 4 events a month. Attend, create those relationships, give that value, and the opportunities will come. Now, some opportunities will rise up immediately. Others will take time because relationships take time. The most important thing is take action now. I am now reaping the results and the harvest of action that I took a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. So start now, get involved now. And then if you want, you can go to silvicaraska.com/NAPW. Just log in with like Facebook or create a username, password, whatever. You'll get access to slides that are specifically this entire presentation and a lot of more detailed information on the different ways that you can overcome the typical networking fears, including a very big list of questions to ask. All right, psych yourself in, don't psych yourself out. Exactly, that's a tweetable. Tweet that, you guys, and put hashtag NAPW, and then maybe e-chapter. So that way, NAPW, hashtag NAPW e-coaching. There you go. Let's go ahead and get the word out for the e-coaching chapter as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Silvika. What a wonderful session and amazing insight into the value of network and how it can create opportunities that you might have never imagined. You will see now on your screen a link to our next e-coaching event, which will be held on May 23rd at noon Eastern, titled Backstage Pass to Networking Effectively with NAPW VIP member coach Jean Omlo. Also, please make sure to go to napw.com e-coaching group page and join our hosts and other attendees there to continue the conversation on the group activity wall. Look out for our communications for all upcoming e-events. And if you're interested in submitting to be an e-coaching host, please reach out to us at the email that you see on your screen. Thank you, Silvika, and to the 250 members who attended today's motivating e-coaching session. NAPW wishes you a wonderful and productive day, and we look forward to seeing you next.